Now, there have been calls for a retirement program for thoroughbred horses who have been turned away from Caymanas Park to be rehoused. While that call is being answered, the Equestrian Federation of Jamaica has been quietly rehousing and retraining horses for their sport.
Veterinarian Dr. Jackson Rehoused, who was among 15 participants in a recent FEI retraining of racehorse program at the Caymanas Equestrian Center in St. Catherine, says a key factor in equestrian sport is that as an athlete, horses need to be healthy.
If your animal is not functioning to the best of their abilities, you're not going to get the best ride out of them on the track. You're not going to get the best performance. Race-wise, you're also not going to get the best performance show-wise.
Heidi Layla, president of the Equestrian Federation of Jamaica, agrees.
Not all can be retrained, not all have a mind, so there's also selection. The temperament is going to be very important. We discussed confirmation. We had a theory class where we discussed the importance of the confirmation, what we are looking in our sport for a show jumper versus maybe what a trainer wants at the racetrack. So they are here. Selection is key, also soundness. The sport horses cannot compete. So sound, clean legs, very, very important. Horses these days, they have to be, checked by a vet to even enter a show ring in our sport.
Meanwhile, Dr. Hefes says during the rehousing phase, it's important to keep track of the horses as there will be a change of ownership.
So there would be paperwork that follows. So the main body that controls that, where it's centralized at the moment, will be the Jamaica Racing Commission. And so what they do is that they would have a transfer, right? An owner transfer. And so they would know at that point that this horse is no longer on our racetrack and it has moved to this location. As I mentioned previously, in order for a horse to actually physically race on track, they must be microchipped.
However, he reveals there are instances that may pose a challenge in certain cases.
They maybe went to track for training, but didn't necessarily make it into competition. They may not necessarily have been microchipped, right? So that makes it a little difficult to identify. So generally what we'll have to go with is the physical markings. But again, depending, as you said, car accidents, depending on the degree of injury, sometimes it is hard to actually identify. We do have the ability to do DNA sampling. And so the DNA sampling would give you the mother and the father once they're registered within the system.
Approximately 10 ex-race horses from Caymanas Park, ages 4 to 15, were a part of the retraining exercise. Denise Walters for TVJ Sports.